Personally, there aren't too many more rewarding things than hiking at high altitudes and enjoying the unreal views of the summit. These memories will be ingrained in my mind for the rest of my life. Throughout the past year, I've made a few incredible yet challenging hikes above 10,000 feet. A few of my most recent ones are noted right here. I was also able to train for Whitney last year, the highest peak in the contiguous United States. However, the trip was canceled due to severe thunderstorms and snowstorms. Although it was canceled, I was still able to learn a lot about what it took to get to the top. So first, I'd like to inform you and better prepare you for your next high-altitude expedition, and then I will explain the risks of reaching high altitudes and the symptoms and treatments of altitude sickness, such as like AMS. I also want to note that this speech isn't just it isn't focused just for hikers and climbers, but for you skiers and snowboarders out there, it's also some useful information in case you're on the mountain too. So training. The most important aspect to training is improving your VO2 max. Your VO2 max is essentially your body's maximum input of O2, basically. And this could be attained by doing aerobic activities such as running, biking, and swimming 3 to 5 times a week for as many months as you can before your main hike. Hills are also an effective way to help simulate the hike. Another way to improve your stamina is to run hills with a weighted backpack. And you also want to make sure you try to expose yourself to higher elevations before you actually reach your highest elevation on your main hike. To prepare for your hike, hydration is essential. You're going to want to drink large amounts of water before, during, and after the hike. Eastern Mountain Sports released an article that noted that once you're above 6,000 feet, you'll notice that you need to urinate more often, which is a natural response to being that high up. You also want to make sure you pack more food than usual because you'll be burning more calories at higher elevations and you'll be using more energy. And it's also good to just have extra food in case of emergency. You want to make sure you also pack appropriately because sunshine, wind, and temperatures are extremes at high altitudes, so you want to make sure that you pack appropriate gear and clothing. So when things go wrong, since I just gave you what it takes to be at high altitudes, I want to point out the risk involved. AMS is the most common type of altitude sickness. It stands for acute mountain sickness. It's caused by reduced air pressure and reduced levels of O2 around you in the atmosphere. And symptoms can occur in elevations in as little as 8,000 feet. Dr. Gustavo Zubieta, the director of the High Altitude Pathology in the it's the High Altitude Pathology Institute in La Paz, Bolivia, found in his studies that the effects of high altitude are also dependent on the distance that you travel, the distance in season, and the temperature in your surrounding environment. For those of you who are wondering what AMS feels like, it's like having a really bad hangover on like a terrible Sunday morning. A group of scientists wrote an article in 2014 and found that a headache was the most predominant symptom of AMS. Other symptoms include nausea, dizziness, vomiting, loss of appetite, and short of breath. Rachel Davidson, an experienced hiker, wrote in her article that the main and best treatment for AMS is to descend the mountain as rapidly and safely as possible. You do not want to keep going higher in elevation because symptoms could get worse, and if they do while you aren't going higher up, hospitalization may be necessary. Although there's a lot of steps and precautions you can take for being at high altitudes, there is a lot of risk still involved. However, you also get a look at some of the most desolate and beautiful places in the world. Even if high altitude sickness won't get you, something else might. For me, it was the weather, so it is best to be as prepared as you can. And although I couldn't do Whitney last year, I now have the knowledge what it takes to do it this year. And now I hope you guys have what it takes to train for your next high altitude expedition this summer or winter. Thank you.